guys, Michael Jensen here. We're on the lake today and I'm gonna show you how I fish hairjigs. I brought two outfits, a bait casting outfit that would be very well suited for light to medium weight jigs, and I got a spinning outfit that's primarily for the lightest of jigs. I'll show you how I fish these. On this one I got a classic hair jig. I got a 7-foot rod, light reel with braid, could have been mono instead. And I got a mono leader at the end of this line. What I do when I fish these: cast out, let the jig sink. I like to keep an eye on the line while the jig sinks to be able to detect any strike while the jig is sinking. When I got the jig down to the bottom, there's a variety of actions you can add to this versatile lure. One of the super effective ways is just lift the jig off the bottom and reel it in real slow. Make sure you stay down along the bottom just a few inches above, and you can feel the jig tapping stone and structures down there. Stay down in the zone if the fish are all the way down. Another technique that's more, the first here is a super slow fishing technique. It's great when the weather is cold or extremely hot, so the fish aren't active. If you're searching a large area for active fish, you might want to use another technique. Cast out, let it sink to whatever depth you want to fish. I let it go to the bottom here, and then you see I jerk the rod tip, catching up the line for every jerk. Let the jig jump up from the bottom, let it settle down again. This is a very active approach, and it's great for searching large areas when fish are on the hunt. Often what you need when you hit a new water or come to a water you haven't been on for a while, you need to find the fish first. The searching approach is great for that, but when you found the fish, very often another approach is more effective. More subtle movements of the jig, slower fishing, more precise fishing of spots you targeted will bring you more fish than this erratic motion. Another way to fish your jig when it's really cold is let it go down to the bottom, let it stay there, let the fibers in that bucktail or whatever hair you got there, could be a rabbit strip or something, work its magic. It'll move even when the jig doesn't. Then move the jig a little bit. Let it rest there for a while. Again, move it a little bit. This is a super effective approach when you found the fish, you know they're there, but they are not in the mood for hunting actively. Another approach I often use in the spring is to fish a jig high in the water column. Often when we have ice out in this lake in the spring, the trout and pike hunt in the surface. So you see the fish before you cast to them. When that happens, it's just about getting a jig out as close to the disturbance on the surface, and then start reeling in at once as soon as the jig hits the surface. Get it moving and keep it up in the water column. Yeah, this is my setup, as I said, for lightweight jigs. If I want to fish a bit heavier, I use my bait casting outfit. It's just a personal preference, but I normally fish bait fishing outfits when possible. And when I fish lures about half an ounce and upwards, that's normally my bait fishing outfit I use for that. But for any finesse fishing, light jigs and stuff, the spinning rod is a better choice. I think with a little bit heavier lures, I've got a better contact with the lure with the bait casting rod. And I like fighting large fish. For me, that works best on the bait casting rod. But basically, I've shown you a lot of different ways to fish these hair jigs. And to be honest, there isn't really a wrong way to do it. No matter how you move these baits down there, they will be attractive in fish catching. But depending on the situation, you need to know all these different techniques. But hair jigs are my preferred weapon for most fishing and for most of the year. If I had to fish one lure all season, summer, winter, spring and fall, and in any condition for a lot of different species, I would choose a hair jig. Furthermore, you got this opportunity as a jig tire, fly tire, jig tire, that you can customize your own jigs. And that way you can present something for the fish that they really haven't seen before. That's the cool thing about the hair jigs as well. Okay, guys, this is an introduction to herdic fishing. We're probably gonna do more videos on this topic, but that's all for today. Thanks for watching. That is a beauty.